poet whose words feel like the ocean, vast, infinite, and filled with hidden abyss. You feel the heights of love and depths of despair in his poetry, the raw beauty of nature and the political struggles of his homeland. That is Pablo Neruda. Born as Ricardo Elcir Neftali Reyes Busalto in 1904 in the small town of Parral, Chile. Neruda became one of the most celebrated literary figures of 20th century. Neruda's work moves like a river through the human condition, sometimes gentle and sometimes fierce. His early poems, like those of 20 love poems and a song of despair, speak of youthful passion, longing, and heartbreak. But his later works, such as Canto General, are imbued with political fire, using poetry as a weapon against oppression and tyranny. His poems evoke not just personal emotions but reflect global themes of justice, revolution, and the profound beauty found in ordinary life. With words that seem to transcend time, his poetry resonates with both intimate whispers of love and the powerful calls for freedom. Reading Neruda is like stepping into a universe where each word has the weight of a star, shining brightly with emotion, conviction, and soul. So here are 5 quotes listed and explained, which will make you feel the depths of love in your ordinary life. I love you without knowing how, or when, or from where. I love you simply, without problems or pride. I love you in this way because I do not know any other way of loving but this, in which there is no I or you. So intimate that your hand upon my chest is my hand. So intimate that when I fall asleep, your eyes close. In this famous quote from Pablo Neruda's Sonnet 18, an intimate and deep love that goes beyond typical romantic expressions is depicted. It conveys the idea of a love that is not based on superficial characteristics or calculated emotions, but is deeply spiritual and intrinsic. It's a love that transcends the boundary of individual identity, ego, and time, merging two people into a singular experience of life, describing an eternal, selfless love that feels almost sacred in its intensity, one that defies explanation yet forms the core of his existence. I can write the saddest lines tonight. I loved her, and sometimes she loved me too. From 20 love poems and a song of despair, shows the melancholic meditation on lost love. It powerfully evokes the pain of love's memory and the sorrow of its absence. One of the most heartbreaking lines, the pain of remembering something beautiful that is now gone. We all have felt this at some point of our lives, when we are caught between expressing the sadness and grappling with the reality of the relationship, that it was imperfect, filled with fleeting moments of affection. Neruda uses the natural world, the night, the stars, the wind, to mirror his emotional state, heightening the sense of isolation and longing. This quote is a powerful exploration of grief, where writing becomes a cathartic act, yet even through words, the speaker's sorrow remains unresolved. If nothing saves us from death, at least love should save us from life. Love is seen as the only force capable of rescuing us from the harshness of reality. While mortality is inevitable, love provides a vital antidote to the suffering inherent in life, acknowledging the one certainty that all humans face, death. No matter how much we strive for immortality, try to preserve our youth, or seek to extend our lives, death remains an unavoidable part of the human experience. It's a universal truth, something we can't escape. Life, with all its complexities, challenges, and sometimes overwhelming difficulties, can often feel like a burden. The ups and downs, the heartaches, the uncertainties, these are all part of being alive. Life isn't always easy, and in its harsher moments, it can even feel like a series of obstacles to overcome. But love in its purest, most transformative form, has the power to save us from the weight of life. It gives us meaning, comfort, and purpose. Love can take us beyond the struggles of daily existence, elevating us above the mundane and offering moments of profound connection and joy. In other words, when life feels like it's dragging us down, love can be the force that lifts us up, giving us reason and hope. It allows us to transcend the difficulties we face and find beauty, grace, and solace in the human experience. You can cut all the flowers, but you cannot keep spring from coming. The quote carries a deep and poetic message about the resilience of nature and the unstoppable forces of change. Flowers represent aspects of life that are beautiful, vibrant, and full of promise. Flowers bloom in the spring, symbolizing new beginnings, hope, and growth. When someone cuts flowers, they are taking away the immediate beauty of the moment. But the flowers represent more than just the immediate, they embody the cycle of life. Even if we try to stop the process of growth, it won't be forever. There are forces beyond our control, whether in nature or in life itself, that will continue to unfold regardless of our attempts to interfere. Just as you cannot stop spring from coming, there are elements of life such as time, change, and personal transformations that move forward no matter how much we may try to halt them. This aspect of the quote may also serve as a reminder that no matter how much we may face hardships, losses, or limitations, life will always find a way to regenerate and evolve. Just as seasons change, human beings too will go through cycles of growth, healing, and personal development, even after setbacks or periods of stagnation. Let us forget with generosity those who cannot love us. The core message of this quote is about the act of letting go, choosing to forgive or let go of the people who can't love us the way we want to be loved, to release the emotional weight of trying to get something from someone who cannot give. Instead of holding on to the hurt, disappointment, or frustration that comes with unreciprocated love, we are encouraged to move forward and make space for more meaningful connections. It's about giving ourselves the freedom to not be emotionally tied to people who cannot meet us where we are. Rather than forcing or clinging to relationships that drain us, we are invited to choose the path of healing and self-love by walking away from what isn't nurturing us. Generosity in this case also extends to ourselves. It's an act of self-care to acknowledge that we deserve love that is healthy and reciprocal. By forgetting, we are offering ourselves the opportunity to heal and grow, freeing our hearts from emotional burdens, to be compassionate, not just with others, but with ourselves. We must avoid internalizing other person's inability to offer love as a reflection of our own worth. Instead, we choose to walk away from the pain with grace and generosity, understanding that we deserve better and that love, true, fulfilling love, will come when we make space for it. Imagine you're holding a delicate flower in your hand. It's beautiful, vibrant, and full of potential. But over time, you notice that the flower begins to wilt. No matter how much you water it, it just can't bloom the way you want it to. You could keep trying, forcing it to grow, but in doing so, you're only holding on to something that's no longer capable of flourishing. Instead of clinging to the wilting flower, you decide to gently set it down, letting it go with kindness. You don't throw it away or harbor resentment. Instead, you release it with a sense of understanding, knowing that it simply couldn't grow in the way you hoped. You forgive it for not being what you needed, and in that forgiveness, you make space for something new, something that has the potential to blossom in the way you truly deserve. This is what Neruda is inviting us to do. When someone can't love us the way we need, we don't need to hold on to bitterness, frustration, or the hope that they will change. Instead, we let go with generosity. We don't cling to the unfulfilled expectations or the emotional weight of unreciprocated love. We gently release it, acknowledging that it's just not meant to be. And in doing so, we free ourselves to make room for love that can truly nurture us. By doing so, we practice a quiet form of self-respect, a love for ourselves that says, I am worthy of love that grows, love that blooms, love that feels like sunlight. And in that space of freedom, we become open to the possibility of love that is not just given, but received in return, full, and whole. So, just like setting down that wilted flower, we move forward with grace, knowing that we are letting go not because we have given up, but because we believe that something better, something that truly resonates with who we are, is waiting to bloom.